Welcome. What? Not the prettiest. Well, it is the prettiest background. Look at us. Welcome to another Thoughts from a Raging Black Girl. I'm Ebony, the Raging Black Girl. This video started as a vlog, and I was like, you know what? It's Thoughts from a Raging Black Girl. So that's what it's gonna be. Let's get into it. I've been thinking really hard about things, or not really hard, but just thinking critically about some things and what I want life to be. You know, like my job, you know, pay the bills, and my career is my business. Ever since that meeting, my colleague who is a career counselor, it's definitely shifted my perspective on things and how I approach things. The point of me, besides like engaging my passions and my talents and his work history and strengths with my business, I'm also trying to create a life of ease and convenience and happiness and peace, and really just analyzing live in a capitalistic society that wants us to always think about how we can be productive in our personal and professional lives, and really just analyzing what is necessary, what isn't. Like, what do I have to do like right now? Like these dishes in the sink and that were in the dishwasher, like, do we urgently need to, I mean, yeah, because this is not smelling great, but it's sort of like, do we urgently need to like unload the dishwasher? Like in the moment, it's like, oh, I need to unload the dishwasher. Make a mental note of it, make a literal, physical note of it, and take care of it when I take care of it. It's just sort of thinking about like, what is necessary, you know? I don't know where I was going with that just now because it's a million thoughts in my head. I have difficulty with recognizing my thought patterns. My brain goes really, really, really fast, and I don't recognize when I'm having stressful thoughts. So I was putting pressure on myself. My business needs to be successful. I need to be making $100,000 a year now. And it's like, that's not possible. That's not sustainable. That's not healthy. Just really taking inventory. How am I feeling about things? You know, am I putting pressure on myself? What's going on mentally, emotionally, physically? Because it's not until things blow up for me that I'm like, oh, this was serious for me, or I really felt strongly about this. I am trying to minimize my social media engagement and intake. It definitely contributed to like a huge breakdown for me. What's going on in Palestine, Congo, Sudan, Tigray, Haiti, you know, everywhere in the world, even here at home, like our water's poison, our food is poison, this election, like there's just so much. And then personal life stuff is so much that it all just like accumulates for me. So I was like, I need to minimize my exposure to, you know, seeing dead babies and blown up bodies and bigoted rhetoric and stuff. Just being mindful of what I'm consuming and how it's impacting me, and taking the steps to take care of myself. Just been contemplating on, and just sort of like, what do I really want? What works best for me? How can I make my dreams come true? Make the vision a reality, you know? Everything doesn't have to be perfectly figured out and planned right now. It's so humbling and awesome. Like, it makes me look in awe how things just be working out. I've been learning a lot about human design.
Human design is a new age practice described as a holistic self-knowledge system. It combines astrology, the Chinese I Ching, Judaic Kabbalah, Vedic philosophy, and modern physics. Human design centers around the division of personalities into 5 energy types, also known as auras, that require different strategies in order to harmoniously interact with the world. The 5 types are manifestors, generators, which I'm a generator, manifesting generators, projectors, and reflectors. Each type has its unique strategy, an attribute that manifests its true self, and an attribute that manifests its false self. Human design focuses specifically on this aura dynamic lens, revealing self and not self themes that affect life outcomes. Human design also maps 9 possible energy centers in the body. A personal map reveals which of these are defined, meaning that they are constant and reliable sources of authority throughout life. Analysis of aura type together with the authority centers provides a broad overview of an individual's worldly and cosmic interface. In human design analysis, planets are displayed in a type of horoscope called a body graph. The body graph shows the 64 hexagrams of the I Ching at various locations on the body. It is sometimes shown within a mandala overlaid on the 12 signs of the zodiac. And this is what that body graph looks like, or a version of the body graph. Here's the different ways in which they can look.
So I'm a generator with a 2-4 profile. I don't know. I'm still learning. I have been following Bronx for quite some time on Twitter, and I think also on Instagram. I just subscribed to their channel. I just have the free membership for their Patreon right now, but they talk a lot about human design, and it's just all these signs have like my tarot reading that I did for myself last month about how I don't need to be trying that hard. Learn something new about myself, whether it's spiritually, mentally, like my actual just life experience, or like through human design, learning that kind of stuff or whatever. I take inventory of my life previously. School was very easy for me. I never studied. I never learned how to study. I never really tried. I was just able to do. One could say, yeah, that's because you're just smart, silly girl. Yeah, I'm smart. I know that. It's just a testament to my human design, where like I don't have to try at all. I've been learning about human design. Being a generator said that like I don't need to be specific with manifestation stuff. I can be very generic, like I need money. I need a job. I don't need to be specific, like I need a job in such and such, making this much by this time. I don't need to try so hard. I guess being an adult has like erased some of that arrogance and confidence in myself for sure. Like it's definitely diminished a lot of that for me. So I'm trying to gain that back. I'm blessed and highly favored. I know people say it, a lot, but like I truly am blessed. And I am highly favored because I have never been without. I have never not gotten what I needed or even what I wanted. The timing may not be on my timing, but it always comes through. I would not like to be arrogant, but I definitely was. I need to channel some of that to really be that. Also with having my own business, it's like I want to do it my way. My really good friend offered to, take headshots for me for my business. And I'm trying to think of what I'm going to wear. I don't want to have a blazer on. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that because that's not what I'm trying to be. I want to be accessible and relatable. I want to be authentic. And I think being authentic, I can be relatable and accessible. Diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, space. It can feel kind of pompous and feel a little elitist and feel a little self-righteous and also corny. Real corny, where people be like, using memes and sis, your employee experience strategy is not it. And it's like, it feels forced. And I don't talk that way generally. And if that's how they talk, then that's how they talk. But for me, it comes off as inauthentic and performative and corny. I'm doing too much thinking and not enough doing. I'm talking entirely too much about what I want to do or what I'm trying to accomplish, and what I'm missing is like I'm that whatever I do, people gonna like it, and if they don't like it, then they're not the people for me. And that's really how I need to be approaching it, to operate however I want to. This is mine. I can do whatever I want to do with it. I don't have to follow anybody else's model of anything. I need to move you. Just need to move and do things however I want to do it, in not putting so much pressure on myself for my business to be like the next biggest thing, because I don't even think I want that. I just want to do my own thing, and I want to live my life the way I live it. Me and my boyfriend, we talk about getting married, starting a family and stuff, and it's like me always trying to be the prepared person. I'm like, I want to be ready for that mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, and financially, because kids cost a lot of money. My business will be a part of that. I need to be setting the groundwork for the type of life that we want. Well, not me alone, but like for my portion of the life that we want. Because I do want to have children. I want to have them now. I don't feel prepared. I'm not prepared for them. I know you can't be prepared, but like I'm not ready to give up my 3 naps a day. Like I'm not ready to do that. and I don't want to short my children in any way, shape, or form. So it's like not forcing things. Like, we have kids when we have them. And if by the time we want to have children and I can't have them anymore, we can always adopt. There are plenty of Black children that are not being adopted. I have no problem with that. And he has no problem with that either. I wonder if the washer is really loud. Think of it as white noise. It's white noise for you, because I don't feel like moving. Utilizing human design, tarot, oracle cards, my intuition, which is what human design and tarot, my natal chart, my body, and my spirit tell me. Like, follow your intuition. Your intuition is always going to be right. And just generally, that's good advice for anybody. I'm not special with all of those things that, you know, my intuition is what I need to follow. My tarot reading and my oracle card reading, I mean, one of the cards was faith. And that is something that I am not the best at all the time. And having faith, even though I have undeniable proof that things always work out for me to like the greatest good, when I'm not operating out of fear or from a fixed mindset or from a state of lack. Back in March, I went to just find out about this additional benefits during training and how do I get my money and what's supposed to happen and all that kind of stuff. And I talked to a woman that worked there because she was like, oh yeah, you fill out this little card or whatever. And then I just started sharing. I was like, you know, I've been doing DEI work for like the past 9.5 years, and I'm looking to pivot into HR because, you know, DEI is under attack, blah, blah, blah. And she hadn't seen my resume. I don't even think she knows who I am because I do come from a small town. And it's like, oh, you such and such daughter, you such and such cousin. Oh, I used to go to school with your grandma, like that kind of stuff. And I don't think this woman knows me and I don't know her. But she was like, oh, send me your resume because it sounds like you've done some really great work. And I'm like, I could have been the worst person in the world. I'm not. I know that I'm excellent at my job and I care. I'm very good at what I do and I'm very talented at what I do. Yeah, so I sent her my resume and she's like, yeah, I'll let you know if there's a job or like if there's jobs that I think you would be good for. And I told her how much I was making in my last job. She was like, yeah, I don't know about that. And I was like, well, here's my limit, or here's like, you know, what I'd be aiming for. So it might have been last week that she called me and was like, hey, there's this job that I think you'd be good for, that I want to submit your resume, but I wanted to call you and ask you if you were okay. I was like, yeah, do it. We then communicated via email. And I was like, I mean, if there's other jobs that the hiring manager thinks that I would be better suited for based on my resume, then by all means, we can, you know, explore that. So my resume was submitted for that and I didn't even have to do anything. That's like an example of like, I wasn't even, I look at jobs. I definitely look at jobs, not just to be saving them, see what's out there, see if there's something that I can easily apply to based on like resumes that I already have or whatever. It's never like, I'm going to apply to this job. I'm going to apply, like, I'm just browsing, you know, I'm window shopping for jobs. Yeah, I wasn't looking. I wasn't like pressed or anything, and that just came through. Whether I get it or not, that's another story. I feel like I would get it and I would like to get it. I got the offer today. Also in my tarot reading and also my natal chart, it's like I'm a leader. I'm a natural born leader and it's a leadership position. My tarot reading, I think it was the King of Swords that I pulled. And it's like you may be called to a position of leadership or your leadership may be needed or something of that nature. And I feel like that's always been a calling for me, like since high school. And I've always been in leadership positions. Like I was cheerleading captain, I was captain of color guard, I was the president of our dance department or whatever that, I think it was president of like something like that in high school because I went to a performing arts high school and dance is my major. I won the pageant. I was president of my high school sorority. I was president of an organization in college. I was in another leadership position in another organization at the same time. You know, I've always had leadership roles and always been in a position of leadership, whether it is an actual role or I'm just like at the front. It just feels fitting. And I've said this before in my other videos that like I want to be active in my community or get like reinvigorated and reconnected with my community, but I don't know in what way or what capacity. I think this is like a pathway, but I also take into consideration like my own health. And what concerns me is that this will be an in-person job and I don't know if you'll be able to even be hybrid. If I can get 2-3 days max at home, like working from home, that would be wonderful. I'm not sure if that'll be possible because I do need to be home. I recognize that what my needs are, being neurodivergent in the multiple ways that I am, and whatever the hell's going on, like my energy levels and my body and stuff, I'm not well, like mentally and emotionally and spiritually. Physically, I'm not good. Like, I don't feel like getting into it. But a lot of our jobs are not necessary to be in person, to be quite honest, because I would be a manager supervising staff. I'm sure that I would be dealing with like the public. I mean, I don't know a damn thing. But all I know is that something came my way when I wasn't even trying, when I wasn't even pressed, when I wasn't forcing it. Another job that my previous manager sent me last night really excited me. That's another thing with being a generator, is like, you should be doing things that excite you, that you want to do, that like, you know, lighten you up or light you up. I applied to that today, and that was the only thing I did today. I was trying to update my services deck, and every time I saved the PDF on my old ass MacBook or my iPad, it like the shadow on the text was so far off, it was like illegible, not accessible at all. I was thinking about working on that later tonight because I wanted to stream today, but I might work on it tomorrow because I'm not going to force myself. I'm not going to operate out of a sense of urgency, because nothing is urgent in like this realm, you know. Like, I'm not curing cancer. I don't have to give somebody CPR, you know. Somebody doesn't need a blood transfusion. The house is not on fire. Like, it's a document that just like illustrates and describes what I offer, who I am, what my approach is and stuff. There's no urgency, so I'll probably do it tomorrow. But again, I'm not going to think too hard about it. I'm just going to, with my business especially, just go where the wind takes me. Whatever content I make, whatever I put out, however I put it out, the approach, the tone, that's the word I was looking for, the tone, that's all me, baby. That's all me, however I want to do it. Thanks so much for watching this Thoughts from a Raging Black Girl, this episode. Thanks for watching this episode of Thoughts from a Raging Black Girl from me, Ebony, the Raging Black Girl. If you like this video and you want to see more Thoughts from a Raging Black Girl, maybe you want to know my thoughts on certain topics, maybe something I said you want to know a little bit more about, go ahead, like it. Drop a comment about what you want to hear me share my thoughts about, and we can have a volley. We can have a back and forth. Subscribe to the channel. If you feel like I've said something that could resonate with somebody else, share it. And make sure you give the timestamp so that they don't feel like they're wasting their time watching some of the other stuff that I'm saying, that they're like, my friend doesn't really know me that well. They do know you well. They just didn't tell you the timestamp. So again, like this video, comment, share, subscribe, all the thingies. Thank you so much for sitting here and listening to these thoughts from a Raging Black Girl. Until next time, bye-bye.